Hey guys, welcome again to Furi the podcast. Uh, so I'm your host Roberto. I'm here with Megan. She's my girlfriend. She is also a soccer player. Um, she's now she's just graduated from college and she's taking a new position in Pero. Um, has middle school.
Middle school head coach of the girls.
Yeah.
hmm
So today we're gonna dive into the homesickness. I think this is something that you and me we have discussed
hmm
a lot of times.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, so basically, being away from home, um, your people, your language is really tough, and so I think we're gonna have to like dive on it and give you like some tips from my experience and from Megan's experience. She's not an international student, how you can see, but she's not from Mississippi. She's not from the area that we are. So we're just gonna dive into that and get some tips for this for this episode. So this is something that we, of course, we have talked before. It's not a secret. We having this conversation like a lot of times. Um, but I want that they know you and they know how you start, like what is your background, like when you started playing soccer, if you play another sport, so and all this.
Got it. So a little bit about my soccer background is I've played soccer my entire life. So I started playing when I was 4, just like rec soccer. And then like kind of growing up, I played different sports, but soccer was always my main one. And then I started probably around middle school. That's when I got into club soccer and I started playing for FC Dallas, like East Texas club. So I played club soccer until throughout high school. And then when I graduated high school, I started playing college soccer at my junior college.
Okay, but let's gonna make a pause there and say what happened when you graduate from high school.
Okay, yeah. So I graduated high school and I love soccer. I did, but I was like, I've had enough of soccer. Like, I just want to go to a cool college and like have fun. So I went to California and I went to Pepperdine for my first year of college, which was 2019 to 2020. So that's when COVID hit, obviously. And so I wasn't playing soccer. I was just going to college, having fun, whatever, enjoying California. COVID hit, so I had to go home. And so that's when I was back in my hometown. And the coach that I played club soccer for FC Dallas, he was also our junior college coach.
So let's gonna stop there for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And so of course you were not being a student athlete, but you moved all the way from California. You are from she's from Tyler, Texas. You already said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's from East Texas, and so California is a new world for you. So what were the the parts that you missed from your hometown?
My hometown. So I think, which we'll get into this later, that I've obviously been at multiple colleges, but I think your freshman experience is kind of different because it's like I was really far from home, but at the same time, I was like a true freshman, like alongside other true freshmen, like the way that Pepperdine like had the dorms kind of worked. It was like we were all together all the time. So it was interesting. Like at that point, I wasn't on a team, like in a sport, but the community there and everything was so new. So I was like trying so many new different things and experiencing a lot of things that I didn't really struggle too much. But I also like called home a lot. Like my parents visited a lot. Like I got to go home on breaks. So that was nice. And I feel like every time I went home and then I like came back, like it was really sad like to leave home. But I would always kind of be in the mindset of like, well, I have Christmas break in like 1 month, like just go and like have fun in your new place and then like you'll be able to go home, like see your family, see your friends, like be in your hometown in just like a month or two. So kind of just like knowing when the next time you'll be home is.
Yeah. So now COVID hit, you decide to go back home and play for TJC. That obviously, for those who doesn't know, TJC is one of the best junior college in the whole country. You can see like there is so many professional athletes. For example, if you know who is Jimmy Butler, he started there and then he transferred to Marquette in Milwaukee and then jumped straight to the NBA. So
Mm.
it's a big junior college.
Also, I forget his first name, but Dwyer, he's a professional soccer player, and he played at TJC.
What is the last name?
Dom, maybe his first name's Dom Dwyer. I don't know like what professionally, like what team, but he did play professionally.
Well, there you see, you have
There you
more.
go.
There you go. You have more professional athletes that start in TAC. They do the 2 years and then go to college or make it just to the pro. Um, so how was your experience in junior college? For example, I never had like that opportunity to go to a junior college. I came straight to a school of 4 years, and what you were saying about the Pepperdine have like really really good organized, like you were around just freshmen and maybe sophomores.
Mm.
um, that's something that I never had because most of my friends were 2 years older than me or 3 years older, and they graduated when I was being a sophomore or when I
Mm-hmm.
was being a freshman. So I think junior college have that, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, that you are around people that is your same age. They are going to the same stages,
Mm. Yeah, like the same stage of life.
the same stage of life that you're
Mm-hmm.
going through. So if you can tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I think something like even like Pepperdine and TJC and just like this is my personality. I've always wanted to go to colleges where like community was very big. Like I went all the way out to California, like not knowing a single soul. And so I was like obviously wanting to find friends, wanting to find community. So at TJC and just junior colleges in general, I feel like it's kind of a common occurrence. Like if you talk to people that play JUCO, they like love JUCO for the most part. And I love JUCO, and I think it is because like you're not like it's not like a fresh like on our team now this year. Like we had an 18-year-old and like a 26-year-old. And
Yeah,
like, yes, technically you are like doing the same thing in life, like you're playing college soccer, but at the end of the day, like you really are at different points of your life. And with JUCO, it was just like everyone was like a freshman and sophomore. And this is before COVID also, so you didn't
yeah,
have like red shirts, COVID years. Um, and so I think the age difference is like really special. And also just at TJC, like we all live together, like same dorm, like every single person. We also like as a team, like we had team bonding like once a week. Like we were like really committed to the team aspect of it, and like going to team bonding every week and like talk. Like we would literally be like, you need to talk and ask these two questions to someone like you don't usually talk to, and it was just like very helpful. And it's like you actually like obviously you're not best friends with everyone, but it's like you really do get to know like every single person on the team.
yeah. And for example, that you're saying that you like actually like um, have those teams bonding and all this stuff, like has international student like that, the team do those kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It helped you a lot. Like in my experience, I came here and being so shy, just being around like Spanish speakers because I feel, of course, I'm making me feel more comfortable talking with them. Um, and then I this is one of the things that we talked in the past episode, that that you need to generate that curiosity about what the people that don't speak your language they're talking, and
Mm-hmm.
just start making questions. You start like having conversation with them, and yeah, like
Yeah.
trying to pound.
Yeah, and I think that's like where the team aspect comes in too, because it's not like the person that doesn't speak English that's like here in the States, it's not all like on them to be able to like learn English. Like, obviously, that's the majority language spoken. But, like, I remember at TJC, we had a Japanese girl come I think my sophomore year. A Japanese girl come, and, like, she didn't know any English. And she was only Japanese, so, like, no one else spoke her language. And we were, like, all going out to, like, dinner or something that night, and we, like, went over and, like, knocked on her door, and you could tell she was, like, obviously, like, upset, just, like, she had literally been dropped off in the dorms, like, that day, and was just, like, completely lost. And so it's,
Yeah.
like, even if you are, like, you don't speak the same language, just, like, reaching out to them and being, like, come eat dinner, even if we literally don't know what each other's saying. Like, I think that's so
and
important.
also we're in 2025. Like, you can just grab your phone
Yeah.
and
And we would use Google
translate.
Translate.
You translate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy. Of course, like, it's not the best scenario that you have, like, back and forth,
Yeah.
translating to someone, but it's a good option. It's something that you just can do because you're a good person, or you just want to know your teammate. And I'm pretty sure that as international students, is that's a big
It's like a big plus. Like,
yeah.
and it's like, it's not good. It's not like a big benefit or plus for one person. Like, it's for both. Like, that girl, her name's Hannah. Like, when she got dropped off, like, I kid you not, she could not say, like, hi, how are you? And now, I mean, I guess this is 4 years later, but speaks, like, perfect English almost, and, like, is best friends with some of us. And it's like, we got to have that friendship because we reached out, and, like, she gets to have that friendship too because, like, she wasn't afraid to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. So you spent 2 years in TJC, one national championship, and one runners up.
One runner up. Yeah, we had the chance because my first year was the COVID year, so we played in the spring. So we played spring of 2020
and then fall
and won. Yeah, and then we played fall of 2020. So if we would have won the second time, that would have been our sixth national championship for the women's program, and it would have been the first time ever that soccer has won
go back to
back. Well, not back to back, but two championships in the same year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we came runner up, so it didn't happen.
You after that, you went to St. Edwards in Austin, Texas, and we know that it wasn't your best experience over there. If you want to talk about it,
I do actually want to talk about it because I think it's actually very prevalent to, like, homesickness, because besides at TJC, when I was literally at home, Austin was the closest out of the rest of my colleges that I was to home, but it was probably the most homesick and, like, furthest away from home, like, I ever felt. And I do think that was because, like, there was no community. Like, I didn't like the soccer aspect of it. It just, for me personally, and, like, this isn't for everyone, but my fit, like, it was not international at all, and it just wasn't fun to me. Like, I didn't get to experience other cultures. Like, everything was what I've grown up with for the past 20 years, and I already knew that. Also, just, like, and I think we've kind of talked about this, like, when you're away from home and stuff, and you're in a new, like, place, if you don't, like, create routines or, like, have things to do, you almost just, like, sit in your dorm, like, sit in your house, whatever. You kind of just, like, don't feel like you're, like, real. Like, you're just, like, going through the motions, and you're bored, and it's just not a good place to be in mentally. And I just remember, like, I was there for 4 months maybe, and I hated it because I literally wouldn't do anything besides practice at 6 a.m., go to class, and then I had no friends to go eat lunch with, like, nothing. So it's like you have to make sure to incorporate those into your life.
You were just 4 months there, and those 4 months, you think, like, they, like, really affect your performance, like, on the field?
Yeah. I think off the field definitely, like, impacts you on the field. And I think I obviously was not enjoying my time off the field. and so I was just not like feeling confident. And also, like, I was like friends with some of the people on the team, but it's just hard to like play with a team when you don't like I wanted to win obviously, but like I wasn't like I have these 10 other players on the field like I really want to fight for because like I love
Yeah,
them because they're my great teammates or like because I'm really friends with them like just like you know I don't know
yeah,
like that makes sense.
yeah. It makes sense. Like, um, for example, I think that you have that extra motivation when you play alongside with your friends. That's something that I like grew up doing it. We had the opportunity to win two national champions, and I was playing with my best friends. And I knew that something happened. I know that I have them uh, uh, cover my back and be there for me. And for now and now like they're still being my best friends and I had that experience that you're saying like it's it gives you more motivated when you are playing alongside people that you actually care about and
Mhm.
you just want the best for them. um, and I think that's one of the things that for me, for example, generate me like more like homesickness. um, I make great friends here. I have a lot of friends here, and I love them. But like had that thing that I used to have with my friends playing back home, that chemistry or um, is different here. It's not. I'm not saying that it's better or worse. I'm just saying it's different. But I think that later come with how much you want to win. I'm not saying that you didn't want to win, but
Yeah.
I think it's more like you take it more like personally
Mhm.
than than uh on
Yeah.
group.
It's also like if other people don't want to win, it's hard to like be the
Yeah,
desire for the entire team, you know? It's like
yeah,
if these other 10 players don't want
yeah,
to win, like what am I going to do?
yeah, actually affect you.
Yeah.
Um, so for example, so after that St. Edward's bad experience, you came here to carry a um one of the best programs in women's team
Mhm.
um in NIA, if not the best. Um, had the opportunity to be again a runner-up, win
And
national
PK
runner-up,
and PKs.
a lot of conference championships, tournament conference championships, all this stuff. Like, um, how that you think you have missing more and you have feel like more the homesickness um being here. And like for example, I think the William Carey is a school that have a lot of internationals.
Mhm.
And you think that like has affect you in certain way, not in a bad way, in a positive way, like had that culture shock that you may can have
Mhm.
with me, with Rosie that is your best friend.
Mhm. Yeah, I think and I feel like culture shock, like especially just in the world we live right now, like with a lot of internationals, gets thrown out a lot. And I think a lot of people like have a bad connotation on culture shock and they think like, oh, it's a bad thing. But sometimes it can be good. And it's like I've had a lot of culture shock, I think, here, like just depending on who I'm speaking to. Like I speak to people from all kinds of countries here, and it's like they tell me things I'm like I have never experienced that in my life. And it's just like interesting to know and to think about and like get different perspectives on the world, or like whether that's hanging out with friends and like cooking things like with you, like cooking Venezuelan food, or like if I am hanging out with my best friend like Rosie who's from Spain, like, and there's all kinds of different things. And I think like related to homesickness, I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I enjoy it. I think it's good. I think it makes me miss home kind of. I enjoy seeing how the internationals, like, obviously I don't want them to be homesick, but like how they miss their home and like they're proud of their home, and when they get to like cook stuff and show off their home and like you can tell how proud they are. I think it's fun for me just to see that, and like I'm proud of where I'm from too, but it's like also I know that I can drive there. So it's just good to put into perspective that like as people like from like out of state, but like I'm still here. Like obviously I get to be homesick too, but like it's a different homesickness, you know?
Yeah, yeah, of course. You just drive 6 hours to your house,
Yeah.
and or your parents can just like um come here and visit you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think it's interesting because there's different homesicknesses and they're all fair, but they are very different.
You're you've been talking that you have been like in TJC with Japanese, now here in Cary, like Venezuelan, German people, from Austria to French, a lot of like countries. Um, so you think like on the field, it was difficult to communicate with them, or like kind of like a culture shock, because soccer is from about perspective, like people don't people don't see football or soccer in the same way.
Mm.
So having like a lot of like international students on the same field, like um, you as American, that what you know is and what you grow it was here, like no one else. Like uh, what like you think it was different when you start playing college?
Yeah, so I think it's difficult when you're on a field with a lot of internationals. It's difficult sometimes to communicate just because there's different communication styles. And I think that's everyone, not just internationals. Like, different people have different communication styles on the field. And also, just people have different styles of play. Like, different countries have different styles of play. So I think it was, at the beginning, sometimes it's difficult to blend those together. But once you do, like it creates a really fun and good team if you can blend it.
Yeah, I think like for example, whenever I came here, like it was like kind of like a culture shock, like words that they used to like um
Yeah.
words that they use, like they didn't make any sense for me, like to explain an exercise or something, or an exercise that I already knew, and they call it in a different way, or they explain in a different way. I think like, and also like during games, like it was like really difficult because my first year I play with people from Ireland, England, France, different countries, and like the communication that they have, and sometimes like the accents and all this stuff, like it was like kind of difficult. And more on the field, like when you have like all this adrenaline like running, and just like kind of like makes you like freak out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like when we talk about like the bonding and all this stuff, I think like at some point of the year or end of the season, that you just forget, and you start like creating this connection with them. um so for example, that you have like experienced this with me, um and this is something that you have done like for you being around like international people, like since you start college. um and one of the things that have helped me a lot is like, of course, being around you, being around my friends, and make me don't like have that homesickness all the time. um but yeah, like I appreciate you to come here today and be in the podcast. I know it's weird because we have having had these conversations all the time, but yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
So this was the third episode of Suri the podcast. I hope that you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I will be reading the comments. I will be looking at your message, DM, TikTok, all this, and see what else you would like it to we discuss here in the podcast. So don't forget to subscribe and let's go beyond the game.